talked with someone in person, and they're not like on the internet and they live in your apartment building and you describe the eviction notices for the whole floor you live on? And the person says, who did it? What what was the problem? And then you try to describe, well, this freaking sloth, you know, said like, hey, you just, just can't bully, the sloth's owner. So you go out with the flashlight. And, you're not paying attention, maybe like me. You got a bottle, and then it goes boom, 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 and everybody goes. A social worker shows up. Police interrogate me, search my room, nearly take me to the emergency room, and then get called ugly with saggy eyes and very, very aggressive. Have you ever had the person look over you and go, geez, you are a bad, horrible person, and then walk away with no other words? Have you ever tried to have a sense of humor about life, and some people decide that what's funny doesn't make them laugh? Or in other words, have you ever tried to explain stand-up comedy on a video post for school with complete and total freedom from a decision to have fun? And the fun has a lot to do with, the eviction notice for the whole floor. It's like, okay, like, sucks to be the new building manager. Like, oh, I got this whole freaking floor that's just freaking like ready to start tearing down walls, scaring people with objects like glass bottles and flashlights, and maybe even at risk for violence. And have been heard talking in a room with no one else inside. And then I still hold out hope that eventually the social worker goes, well, how do they know what he's saying inside his home? And didn't the camera see what he was doing with his bottle and his flashlight? Oh, and then, like there's more like freedom. Like, okay, what a freaking idiot, a stupid sloth or whatever, but have to go down the next day and, meet with the social worker who's now the building manager, and the social worker stares at the person, me, and says, so let's talk about what happened the other night. And I respond, really? Yeah, let's talk about the other night. Really? Okay, but let's talk about your aggression the other night. Really? Right now, you're not being very nice. Really? We need to figure out what's happening, or else you could get evicted eventually with this kind of outburst and emotional behavior. Really? I am sick of your stories. I am sick of you always lying and not answering my questions, the social worker says. Really? The problem has to do with you laughing right now. I am trying to get this figured out so that the people on the floor you live on can live a normal life that you've taken away with your aggression, your anger, and your violence. Really? Okay, you either need to answer and help me figure out what happened, or you need to leave. Really? And then had to, walk home all scared, like, oh, am I getting evicted for saying the word really? Am I going to be homeless for telling the social worker REALLY? And then a couple of days later, got a phone call and said, okay, we need to reschedule your appointment you didn't complete to make a plan for how you are going to be better socially and as a client with this mental health organization. Really? Well, really, you're going to either come to this appointment or you're going to need to find somewhere else to live and be in different services. Really? And the social worker hangs up. And then and I'm sitting here, now, and I go, oh, that's nice. Behavior. And dang near collapse from the social worker's face when I say, really? And then remember, like, the threats. Like, next time you point your finger at me in that way, you could and have to talk to the police. Really? And have you ever, really, stared at the world? Made a sound in the world? Thought out loud? And yelled, really?